Hey everybody, JJ here. I want to say welcome back to another Saturday weekend of Zoom networking. And got my little baseball shirt here, still coaching the kids. Um, but I want looking forward to this wonderful person speaking with us. I'd like to introduce Jamie Saunders, who is a real estate professional, coach. We're all students, continuously while learning. But Jamie's someone who I've got a chance to meet personally, and I absolutely love this person. One of the best benefits of my networking are the personal relationships that I've created, and I can't say enough about you, Jamie. So with no further ado, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you're going to talk about today.
Thank you, JJ. When JJ talks about networking and what you need to be doing for networking, that's also a part of branding. I was talking to JJ Thursday about accountability, and somehow the call ended with, why don't you be our speaker on Saturday? So here I am. I have a little bit of a cold, so I have to take a break to take a drink of water. Sorry about that. So a little about me. I've been in the real estate industry for over 30 years, and I started in the title and escrow side. And after years of seeing people invest in property, my partner and I decided to buy our first property. We ended up wholesaling that first piece of property to our neighbors. It was quite a little while ago, and we didn't call it wholesaling then. We actually called it pushing paper, and it was so exciting to just push paper and make money. We went on to split and develop land, dropping some wells, pulling in power, rehabs, buy-in holds, new builds, both spec homes and townhomes. At one of the most profitable deals, I noticed that a lot of people here said they were starting with wholesaling, was a wholesale deal. And it involved 80 acres. I knew the owner at the time, and we made an offer. I made a verbal offer, and he accepted it. And we put $1,000 down for our earnest money deposit. Well, he came back with a $35,000 earnest money requirement. And I remember my partner at the time just dropping to his knees saying, how are we going to come up with $35,000? Well, we were able to bring in a partner. So partners can be a huge benefit to this business. And even with the split with the partner, it was our biggest transaction. I'm going to share with you a little bit about one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me as an investor. We were building some roads to create ingress and egress to get in and out of a property. And we hired a contractor who we assumed had called for blue stake. And if you're unfamiliar with blue stake, it's a requirement when you're doing any digging. But I remember that day specifically because my oldest son called me from high school and the call kept dropping. And at the time, my partner was at Sprint and the lines went down. He comes home and he says, I think our guy may have hit a line. And he did. He hit a fiber optic line, and that's definitely not a line you want to hit. It was really scary. Luckily, he was licensed, as they should be, and it was all on him, and the fiber optic was actually an unmarked fiber optic. I currently hold my real estate license with EXP. However, I will share with you my passion is coaching. I'm a certified life coach, and to date, I've had over 6,000 coaching sessions with real estate individuals and teams across the nation. I love what I do. I love helping people and teams implement systems so they can truly scale their business. And it's a passion that I've had for quite some time. I would say the only other passion that is stronger than that is being a grandmother to 5 adorable grandkids. So that's a little bit about me. And today we're going to be talking about accountabilities. So today I'm going to be talking about the importance of accountability and the importance of goals and the power of accountability. I love this quote, and it's so true. A culture of accountability makes a good organization, your business, great, and a great organization, your business, unstoppable. You truly do need to have accountability for what you do. Set goals that excite you and scare you at the same time. How many of you, either now or when you first started in the business, were excited about your first rehab? Raise your hand. Okay, I can't see everybody, but I do see some hands raised. I know that I was. How many of you were scared about making your first offer?
Oh yeah.
That's a big one. And it's interesting because some people fear an offer being accepted, and some people fear hearing the word no. And you really need to figure out, and coaches can help you with that. What is it for me? Is it the word no? Because if it's the word no, we need to really get used to the word no. And if it's the word yes, we need to just really break that down and say, okay, what scares you about yes? Because this business will not move forward unless you're making offers. Goals should always excite and scare you, and you need to get to the point where you're an offer making machine. So you may want to jot that down, offer making machine. Has anybody here ever been part of an accountability group? Raise your hand.
Not a part of a group. I've had an accountability partner, but not a group.
Okay. Okay. So accountability groups help you realize you're not alone in your fears. They can help you push back your fears. Accountability groups help you stay on target to reach or exceed your goals. They challenge you to level up. And I know somebody on here's the name of their business is Level Up, which I loved. And most importantly, when they're done right, they create discipline within you. I will share this with you. Every successful entrepreneur has discipline within them. They either just have it, maybe a lot of times when we're in the military, that's a way that we have learned to create discipline within ourselves, but we really need to create discipline. So raise your hand if you still have a 9 to 5 job. Anybody? I see a few hands up. Okay, raise your hand if you would like to leave your 9 to 5 job. I see. Okay. Discipline in all areas, require it if you want to become a successful investor and leave your 9 to 5 job. Okay, so tell me, and I can't see everybody, so I hope people are staying engaged and raising their hands. Raise your hand if you set goals for Q1 through Q4 of 2021. Now, keep your hand raised if you've revisited your Q1 and Q2 goals in the last 2 weeks. Okay, perfect. Nyla, I see your hand raised. I love seeing Nyla's hand raised, and there may have been others. If I missed them, I apologize. We can't just write our goals down and hope it happens. We have to set the goal. Then we have to establish a plan to get there. We revisit the goal and we revise the plan when needed. And I will share with you in this industry in particular, because a lot of individuals start doing real estate investing while they're still doing their 9 to 5. And we may say, I'm going to give 30 hours to this business. And then we realize, oh, I don't have 30 extra hours. So that's why sometimes we have to revisit and revise our plan, because we can't really give that much time. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips on time later in the presentation. Let's just say, for an example, your goal for 2021 was to have 1 property per quarter, so a total of four deals. You're going to need to generate at least 200 leads in 2021, 50 per quarter, or about 4 per week. Now, this number is based on the 50-25-1 rule. 50 leads, 25 offers should equal 1 deal. However, that ratio changes based on the lead type, current market, and your conversion rate, which should change over time, improve. Your conversion rate should only continue to improve as long as you're continuing to educate yourself and grow. So again, we're basing this on the 50-25-1 rule. Today, we've got about 39 days left in Q2. If your goal is 4 deals for 2021, and you've only generated 25 leads, then you're about 55 leads short. And this is why we don't want to wait until the end of Q3 to revisit our goals to realize we haven't implemented the marketing plan that you wrote down at the beginning of the year to generate 200 leads. Goals need to be in front of you, discussed every week at your meeting, whether that meeting is you sitting down with yourself or with your partner, you really need to have a structured business meeting. It's like our day job. We wouldn't miss a meeting at our day job. We wouldn't have our day job if we missed a meeting. We want to give that much importance to our business. So you want to discuss it at your meeting. You want to make a plan. You want to execute a marketing strategy in order to be able to reach your goals. So what we have in front of us right now is called a life pyramid. And sometimes you'll hear them referred to as life wheels. And they're a great tool to help you with your goals. Typically, it's a great way to make sure that you have balance too. And typically, you'll see these wheels or pyramids include career/business, relationships, personal development, fun and creativity, physical environment, and finances. I personally prefer Tony Robbins' Pyramid of Mastery because he is one of the few who include time and contribution. So you can use a pyramid to customize it for your life and your business. And sometimes it's nice to have one for each. It's a really great way, again, to have a life balance. In the interest of time, what I did today was I created a quick pyramid more specific to real estate. So the bottom one, real estate. There should be several goals within real estate, your business, to include that weekly meeting that I just spoke about, your coaching calls, if you have coaching calls available. I don't want you to wait until you think you have something to say to have a coaching call. You can just simply say to the coach, this is where I'm at in my business. Where do I need to go from here? And they'll guide you every step of the way. In your real estate, you want to make sure you're including your education, generating leads, networking, building your team. Of course, we know JJ has just a knack for that. Branding. Branding is really important. It's something that I coach on a lot because you're going to have this business for a really long time. And outsourcing. Outsourcing is another one that I feel is very important. Outsourcing. You'll hear sometimes that maybe we need to wait for outsourcing. And I'll share this with you. I had a client who had a goal to hire a VA. This client wanted to do the cold calling first, so he knew how. And I completely understand that. And about a month and a half in of his goal of doing the cold calling, when I asked how is the cold calling going? I haven't started yet. Okay, what does that tell you? That tells me I need to outsource. So if you're not doing it because you need to know how to do it first, then maybe you just need to outsource and learn how to outsource. And you can learn as you're training whatever you're outsourcing for. Making offers. This business will not grow if you're not making offers. And again, I tattoo that on your forehead. You want to be an offer making machine. So time. Your business will not grow if you don't give it time. There's a lot of things that we give time to that perhaps we shouldn't give time to. If you can't stand in the mirror and say, I would hire myself tomorrow for what I accomplished in my business today, then something has to change. And it's usually being disciplined with your time. I know that a lot of you have 9-to-5 jobs, families, and other commitments, and they're very important to you. So I'm going to share a couple of tips that I share with my clients that may be helpful. This one right now, I call it the blank calendar. I like this one when you are new to your business. To me, it's better if you print out the calendar. You can also put it on a Google Calendar, of course. And what you're doing on that blank calendar, and I wouldn't do it for more than maybe 2 or 3 months because it's going to change. You're going to revisit this. You put everything in your life on that calendar that you can't change. Your job, you can't change that. So if it's 8 to 5, including the commute, we're writing that time in Monday through Friday, whatever the case may be. If you go to church every Sunday, we're writing that time in. If your kids have sporting events, if you absolutely know the importance of meditating, family time, your exercise routine, we put those in on that blank calendar. Then we look at that calendar and say, okay, Where are the gaps? Because in those gaps are where we fill in our time for our business. Now, did you notice that I didn't include TV in that time? Because a lot of people will say they don't have time, but they're sitting there watching TV for 3 or 4 hours a night or sleeping in till 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, another tip that may work for you is called the Ivy Lee method. Ivy Lee was a production consultant in the early 1900s. At the time, Charles Schwab was one of the richest men in the world. And in an effort to increase his team's productivity, he had a meeting with Ivy Lee. And Ivy Lee shared this method. And as Ivy Lee was leaving, Charles Schwab said, well, how much do I owe you? And Ivy Lee said, you implement this method and then you send me a check for what it's worth. Now, this was 1918, and he sent Ivy Lee a check for $28K, and that's a lot of money in 1918. So this is the method, and it's so simple. At the end of each day, you write down 6 of the most important things you need to accomplish tomorrow for your business. No more than 6. Number 2, you prioritize them. You put the items in the order of their true importance. Now, when tomorrow arrives, concentrate on number 1. Don't pay attention to 2 through 6. If you complete 1, then move to 2. If you complete 2, move to 3. Now, it may be that you don't get 4, 5, and 6 done, and that's okay, because we don't want to beat ourselves up about not getting stuff done. As long as we're giving our time business, there's no value in mentally beating ourselves up for not getting stuff done. So let's again go back to we didn't get 4, 5, and 6 done. That's okay. At the end of that day, we say, okay, are 4, 5, and 6 now going to become 1, 2, and 3, or are 1, 2, and 3 always going to happen and they're the most important? So 4, 5, and 6 set where they're at. So every day you're starting with 6. And it doesn't necessarily mean that 4, 5, and 6 move to number 1. I hope I said that in a way that everybody understood. We'll take questions at the very end. This also, what I love about this particular technique is it helps you sleep at night, because I know I'm not the only one in this networking event that lays their head on the pillow each night, and then all of a sudden your mind starts chattering and you're like, I got to do this and this and this tomorrow. This stops that, because then you're just like, nope, I wrote it down. Now I can rest my head. Okay, next is your health. I added health because if you're not taking care of yourself, it's going to be very difficult to work full time and create a successful business. And you're important, and you need to take care of your health. It's really going to only benefit your business. Okay, money. Earlier I talked about the different, I didn't call them buckets, but within the real estate business, you have the buckets: lead generation, education, networking, etc. Money, I believe, needs to be at the very top of your real estate business. When I talked about that blank calendar, you should be time blocking out money every week. How money is essential for your business. And it's also a subject that a lot of people are uncomfortable talking about. You have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And almost everyone here has a money story. Now, your money story may not have come from you. It usually doesn't. It may have come from your parents, perhaps, all saying, or you always heard, we don't have enough money. Well, what that has done after years of hearing we don't have enough money is it creates your money story of lack. And that can cause you to be uncomfortable with money. So the first step is to change your money story. And as you work on changing your money story, you also need to time block out reaching out to hard money lenders. They talk to people all day long. They're a great source to learn from, to get comfortable. Just start dialing up hard money lenders. Ask them what their requirements are. Private money, working on your private money presentation, giving your private money presentation to your friends and family. You know, a tip on a private money presentation is, first of all, no, you're not asking for money. And what you can do is you can pick maybe a handful of people that you truly respect. And you can say, I really respect you and I value your feedback. I'm putting together this presentation. Would you mind taking 15 minutes out of your day to listen to my presentation via Zoom? Did I mention money anywhere there? I have seen this technique work where you're asking for feedback and you end up getting a private money lender. So it's a great strategy. You also want to work with just forming relationships with the smaller local community banks. The way to scale your business is to get comfortable with money. Okay, so giving back at the top, and I added this because, again, Tony Robbins, I love him. Tony Robbins says the need to contribute to something larger than ourselves is hardwired into every human. JJ is a great example for someone who gives back on a daily basis. Well, we can't all be JJ. So we've got to find our way that we're going to give back. And there's so many ways to give back in this business. Perhaps you're in the middle of your first rehab. You would be amazed at how many people who haven't done rehabs would love to walk your rehab. Another great way to give back, particularly if you want to get comfortable being in and around projects, is Habitat for Humanity. It's a great organization. You get to pick up a hammer and you get to see how they frame a house, to just name a few. So if you're interested in that, it's Habitat for Humanity. So accountability groups. Accountability groups, for those of you that haven't been involved in one before, are usually small, between 4 and 6 people. It's usually like-minded people who get together once a month or once a week. Each meeting, the members share the results from their previous meeting, the results of their goals. They set a new goal, and they establish the consequences or rewards for reaching or not reaching their goal, depending on the group's rules. Some groups establish a reward system like, if you meet your goal, we will all send you a $25 Amazon gift card. Others prefer consequences. If you don't meet your goal, you will send us each a $25 Amazon gift card. Now, I'm just using these as an example, but it really does help. Some people prefer rewards and some people prefer consequences. I personally prefer the rewards. This I put up here because today I'm offering this group an opportunity. And it's an opportunity to level up your life and your business and be part of an accountability group. What I've done is I've created a 30-day level up accountability challenge for JJ's group. The first 20 people to email me will be a part of this challenge, and all others will go on a waiting list. Now, don't rush right now and start emailing me. Because first you want to hear a little bit about how this is going to work. First, the challenge will start June 1st via Zoom at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. Now, I get up early, and I will tell you this. I talk about discipline. If you're sleeping in till 9, that is not discipline. If you're saying you don't have enough time for your business and you're sleeping in till 9, guess what? If you woke up at 5, that's 4 hours you could give your business. So this is part of the reason why I started at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. It will last 30 minutes. It's very quick. We meet every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It will go on through July 22nd. The reason that I would like to start it on June 1st is because it's going to get us into Q3. So I wanted you to have some momentum going into Q3. The only Monday we will not meet will be July 5th. This challenge costs nothing but a commitment. So please don't email me if you're not committed. I really am very strong in accountability when it comes to coaching. If you're committed to leveling up your life and your business, and it's through all areas of your life, I personally as a coach will be holding you accountable for personal and professional goals, helping you change your money story, sharing techniques to build your confidence in all areas of your life. And this 30-day challenge, well, it's also going to be fun. I know it's going to be at 6:30 in the morning. It's only 30 minutes, but you truly will appreciate every day that you've showed up, and you really do need to show up, because for the rest of the day, you'll realize, okay, I got up early. I met my challenge. I was part of a group of like-minded people. So the 30-day challenge, fun, engaging, and it will also be disciplined. And it will also, again, require a commitment. So if you're ready to level up your life and get comfortable with the uncomfortable, email me and I will send you all the details along with an agenda and a worksheet for each week. That's it. I look forward to hearing from you.